Welcome back to Eye on South Asia. Prakash, you met with the Jharkhand CM, Mr. Arjun Munda. This is one of the youngest, smallest states of India, but with sitting on the black diamond, as they call it in India. You met with the organized meeting that he had with the luncheon that was organized, I think, by the Alliance of US-India Business at the Harvard Club. So what is he up to?
In fact, I'm very proud to say I'm the only journalist, only editor in New York to be invited to Harvard Club, because I know Arjun Munda very well. And the organizers told me that he was very particular that Indian Express managing editor should be there. So in that way, I'm very fortunate and the only one. And he recognized me and then we talked. So I asked him what's happening in Jharkhand. Then he's saying, Jharkhand is a young state which came to life in 2000.
Sure.
And it's got about 40% of the mineral wealth of the country, like bauxite, copper.
Iron,
plus you have
coal,
iron, where you have a Tata Iron and Steel Company.
And the forests.
Forest and Bokaro Steel. And this young chief minister, so dynamic, Sunil, you won't believe, though he had some problem in communicating, but his ideas are very clear. He wanted to take Jharkhand to the forefront. When I asked him, well, it's a tribal state, what's going to happen? He said, Prakash, you don't know what happened to Bihar. People totally said Bihar cannot be redeemed.
Yeah, they
now what's happening in Bihar?
It's because of the good governance.
Good governance. So he said, if I give good governance, I will make sure Jharkhand is in the forefront of the India, and every chief minister should make sure that his state develops. And my priority is to make sure that Jharkhand develops. And one of the point he was saying is that he wants to work with the government of India to make sure the state gets all the benefits, and he doesn't want any confrontation. Though he's an opposition from the Congress.
Like you were saying that his focus will remain the IT, that's why he has created a Jharkhand Agency for Promotion of Information Technology, JAP IT. So he's very clearly focused on deciding where what he wants to do, where he wants to go. So, and being a young man, young state, sitting on lots of resources, I think there is a lot of future for him.
Absolutely.
And especially the twin state, you have Jharkhand and you have Bihar running parallelly. Bihar is really excelling, as he mentioned, under the current chief minister. And with this, I think that part, which was kind of India had given up because of the mafia, has a future coming up. Very interesting. So Prakash, moving on to some festivity in our backyard in New York, we had Sikh Art Film Foundation annual gala, which is absolutely creme de la creme of the community that come in there. And this year it was again very, very well organized. It was at the Cipriani in downtown Wall Street. And again, Tejinder Bindra, who is the president, who has given a clear direction to this organization. Of course, he has got a great team, lieutenants like Mandeep, and he had a few celebrities from all over the US, including some from India. And then he had the India's ambassador to Israel, who had come here himself. And of course, Maharani Pranita, who is the Minister for External Affairs for State. They were all there. They introduced this time a session where they had the leadership session, as they call it, leadership summit. So this 3-day event introduced this new angle where they had a talk about how to excel, how to grow, how to get ahead. The event had almost 600 people there at the celebrations, and they host the top movies, their commissioned movies. These are not necessarily by Sikhs or Punjabis, but the issue is all about Sikh community, their culture, their religion, their rich heritage, and they screened movies on Friday night, 2 premieres, and then Saturday again the session before noon and session afternoon. And at the end of the day and the night, they have a grand gala, and they recognized, they honored 3 luminaries, including, of course, our own Gurinder Chadha and Navtej Sarna, as I was mentioning to you.
Not many people knew the other side of Navtej Sarna. He was a foreign service officer. He's an excellent writer. He's an author. He wrote books on Sikhism.
Yeah.
And even when he was in Washington, D.C. as the Minister Council and subsequently a Joint Secretary, Expedition in Delhi, we used to interact very often. He always said, come to Delhi, we'll have a coffee. His conversation will be on literature, writings, authors, books. He's one of the very few foreign service
He
officers.
was also the official spokesperson.
Official spokesperson of the government of India.
Right.
An excellent writer and author. I think he's one of the asset to the government of India's foreign service. Of course, the other two are equally prominent, but nowadays I want to mention because of the connections we have in literary world.
Yeah, so this event really has been growing from year to year into next stages, and Navtej was obviously there. I think it's a great effort to promote the Sikh culture and Sikh community. At the same time, while Maharani Praneeth Kaur was here to attend the event, she was also hosted by the local Punjabi group. We have the Punjabi chapter of Indian National Overseas Congress, and they hosted her in a private event in Bombay Palace in New York, where she met with the community, she met with some of the media, and talked about the issues that relate to them here in US or in India or even in Punjab. So Shud Jasuja, who with his friend and colleague, I think he's the president of Punjab chapter, Phuman Singh, had organized this get together. So let's see, we'll talk to Shud what was the goal and what was achieved. So Shud, this is Sunil Hali from Maya on South Asia. We wanted to talk to you about the event you hosted along with your friend, partner, and from Punjab President, Mr. Phuman Singh. Maharani was here, Maharani Praneeth Kaur. What was the main focus on that meeting?
The main focus was that the minister wanted to listen to the problems faced by NRIs and Punjabis, if any, here in America.
And what were the main problems that were enunciated to her?
Well, the main problem, as you know, is a lot of Punjabis have taken asylum in this country just for the reason of acquiring a green card. And once they do that, then government of India denies them any re-entry into the country, any visas or passports. So that was the number one concern of the people.
Oh, you mean to say anybody who has taken a political asylum here can't go back to India?
Yes, that's the rule, that they don't get the visa or the passport.
That's quite a bit of discomfort, because a lot of people moved in when there was a lot of disturbance in Punjab, and they must have lived here back at that time, and now they want to go back and meet their family and friends. They are not allowed to?
Yeah, that's been the law for a very long time, for ages. And what the Honorable Minister, Mrs. Praneeth Kaur, with her personal efforts, she was able to get some liberalization in the rules that a year ago that she got it done, that now the children of the asylees are able to get the visa if they're born here. Earlier, even the children or spouses were not allowed. So that was her personal efforts that brought the results.
That's
and
wonderful.
She likes to have interactions with NRIs wherever she goes directly.
Now, what does she expect from Punjabi community? They are one of the most flourishing community in North America. What does she expect from you?
What they can expect from us is that at Indian National Overseas Congress, we do these sort of meetings. We work as a bridge between NRIs and India and government of India, and also try to be goodwill ambassadors for our motherland in our adopted land.
And what does she expect from the Punjabi community?
Well, Punjabi community is playing a very big positive role in the United States, and they're very hardworking people, and they're on top of every profession they are in, and we are very proud of the Punjabi community, obviously.
So she wants to bring this entrepreneurial skill back and their success back into India?
Well, India is welcoming them with open arms. Actually, our great leader Rajiv Gandhi had once said when people were complaining that, oh, it's a brain drain, that all the IITians and all the engineers, doctors are leaving country. And he had predicted at that time, it's amazing what kind of visionary he was. He said, it's not brain drain, it's going to become an international brain bank of Indians.
It's the best investment
India
India
made. Happening. And that brain bank is actually helping India back.
Very good. Thank you very much. Shud Jasuja ji, this is Sunil Hali once again thanking you from Ion South Asia. for taking out time from your busy schedule on this Diwali weekend.
My pleasure. I wish all your viewers a very, very happy, cheerful Diwali. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. So Prakash, again, Maharani has been here 3-4 times that I have seen her in the last few years, and she's continuously enticing the NRI community and obviously in particularly the Punjabi community, and because there is a bond between them and they expect to tell, unfold their problems to her. And being in the position she is, mostly it is to do with the consulate and the hardship they face in going back to India. So she has taken in her hand and promised to find some solution. And like Shud said, some solutions have been implemented. On the other hand, we have another community in India which has been kind of estranged for quite some time, which is in Kashmir. And as you know, Prashant Bhushan, who made a statement, even though he's a part of the Anna Hazare group, but he's clearly distant that this is my view. And he talked about the plebiscite in Kashmir, and he thinks unless and until people go through a referendum, you can't have a marriage without commitment or a marriage without interest in it. So he feels that the military should be withdrawn. He feels that the Kashmiri Pandits should be brought back to Kashmir, and then there will be a referendum. Let them choose what they want to be. If they want an autonomy, that's fine, and let them then decide how they want to have a relationship with India. And it really hurt him very badly because there were a lot of people who attacked him, and whether they were political reasons or whether they were emotional reasons, and he was beaten up in his own office. But he still holds on to that view. And he was recently in Bay Area, and where he was honored, and we had quite a few people who kind of appreciated his statement. So there is kind of different views about what should be done to Kashmir.
Some people also criticize him. For example, Krishna Reddy.
Yeah, we had him.
Indian American.
Last week.
Council.
Yep, Dr. Krishna Reddy was live on our show last week.
He was saying that it's not possible.
Yeah.
The only thing is, if you're going to allow people like him to exercise the plebiscite, then what is going to happen to states like Tamil Nadu, which is raring to go out of India? Right. So this only encourages more secession and is not good for the country.
Which is why you have on one side Dr. Krishna Reddy, who spoke very clearly that this is not the done thing, this is not the way to solve a problem. On the other hand, there is a group of people in the Bay Area who felicitated him and for his statement, for his thinking, his thought process. I think very interesting. There is all kinds of views, so we need to bring it to our viewers. Yeah. On the other hand, Prakash, on the green card, the eternal problem of green card backlog for China and India, even though these two countries remain one of the most favorites. And Alessandro Mayorkas, who is the Director of United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, and Tom Khalil, Deputy Director for Policy, White House Office of Science and Technology, has clearly blamed the Congress. They're saying Congress has not taken the right decisions, they're not trying to move these numbers. And then they're also talking about that, at the end of the day, there is only 140,000 annual quota, which is too low. Yeah. And a particular country on an average gets about 6 to 7% of that. And they think even the most capable person, skilled person in India who were to file for a green card today will need 70 years before they can see a green card. Correct. So it's a very interesting observation, and I think they think that the processing time on the visa lines could be accelerated if Congress took some decisions, and they really think we need to bring the professionals into this country, and they can't be waiting for years and years before they can see a green card.
Yeah, because that's they were saying the 70% of the PhD students come from outside the US.
Right.
And more than 60% of the graduate students come from outside the US.
And India is one among the top contributors. Yeah.
And now the trend is all these students who have graduated, work in the company, they want to go back. Because according to a study conducted by Corp in Washington, more than 200,000 green card holders and citizens have planned to move back to India in 2012, 2013. If that is going to happen, we will have a reverse brain drain in the US.
Which has already happened, but hold your thoughts right there, Prakash. When we come after the break, we'll be right back to you. You're watching Eye on South Asia.